Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Sag, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link. My official Instagram and TikTok all listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Sag, I hope that you're doing well. This reading is all about messages from the person on your mind. I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one for the overall energy will be from the Human Spirit Oracle, one of my favorites, and the tarot portion will be from the Pulp Tarot, also one of my favorites. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Angel, Spirits, Guides, what messages do you have for Sagittarius? Thank you. Number 21, which corresponds to the World card in the Major Arcana. Major Arcana being the first 21 cards, 22 cards of the tarot deck, but it goes from 0 to 21. Major Arcana is kind of talking about the archetypes of human experience. So by the time we reach the World card, which is the end of the Major Arcana, it's as if we've finished out a chapter of our lives only to begin a new chapter. It's like a real distinction and feeling that a phase of our life is over because we learned the particular lessons in that chapter. And you got Siren's Song. Siren's Song. We have, I think these are called Victrolas. It's kind of the old-time record players, Victrolas. It's really amazing how every time I look at a Victrola and, you know, think about when they existed, when they first existed, I think about, you know, how did they figure out that you could encode, like magnetically, I guess, encode information into a plate with grooves so that it would vibrate in such a way to make a certain kind of sound. So it's this idea Spirit's bringing to mind of invention. So now Spirit wants me to say this is a period of reinvention for yourself, for the Sagittarius. It's something that you are or have been working on as far as your spiritual up-leveling or your professional up-leveling. You have reinvented yourself. It's strange because I just saw a story about someone who is furloughed from their job, and because they're furloughed, they're not making any money, they have to figure out another way to make money in the meantime. And so they rented like a food truck, and this is like a corporate person. They wear, you know, a suit and tie. It's a 9 to 5 or whatever, but they always wanted to run a food truck. It's like everyone has a dream, everyone has passion. And the article was about how sometimes Spirit kind of gives you a kick in the butt. He didn't say Spirit, he said life. Life gives you a kick in the butt and causes you to jumpstart something that you've been meaning to jumpstart. And all of this is coming to the fore for me from your spirit guides. The siren in kind of Greek mythology is often known as the entity that lures men to their demise, right? The siren represents this lulling, this kind of hypnotic state that has been given a bad rap because of I mean, whenever we hear the word siren, literally a siren's sound, it represents some kind of emergency or danger or something. But the siren song feels a little less panicky and a little more, yes, we want to draw attention to something, but it is the song. It's like there's this medley playing for you right now that is speaking to, I believe, some kind of passion space, something that means a great deal to you with respect to your creativity or your problem solving, that represents a kind of up-leveling for you. It's really beautiful energy, actually. I'm gonna just pull some cards. There's no layout. I'm just gonna get messages, because these are messages from your person. So it's kind of like they see you as somebody who is answering the call, because now I'm seeing the Judgment card in my mind, because I had to like step back for a minute and just think, well, but who is the speaker here? Because it's like the messages on your person's mind. It's almost like, honestly, I feel like it's not an earthly person. It's almost like maybe it's a person in spirit that you're thinking of, a passed away loved one, an archangel or spirit guide, an ancestor. I've kind of feel like it's a passed away loved one, like somebody that you knew when they were on the earthly plane, and you're kind of just like wondering, like, what are they thinking? What do they want to say? Because, and that's not, usually when I do these readings, it's always somebody on the earthly plane, but it's not what I'm feeling. I feel like the energy is much broader, much bigger, much more expansive. Because when I see the Judgment card, it's kind of like the archangel kind of beckoning you to revisit your blueprint, your life's path. And I feel like you're getting on, if you somehow stepped off that path momentarily for a chapter of your life, it's like you're getting back on that path now. And something could have nudged you, like you could have had a tower moment, where, like the person that was furloughed, for example, it's like they didn't really have a choice. I mean, we always have choices, but that was kind of an abrupt movement, because they didn't have the ability to say, well, I don't want to be furloughed. They were furloughed. And that decision was not up to them. But what was up to them was how they were going to handle it, how they were going to respond to it, how they were going to take action in the face of adversity. Now, not everybody can afford to just rent a food truck, especially if you're not getting a paycheck, right? So I understand that, you know, everybody's situation is different, but this is kind of the vein of what your spirit guides or your person is trying to convey, that they see the effort that you're putting into something, and I think they're very proud of you. It's like you're answering the call. Okay, so like I was saying, there's no layout. I'm just going to get cards to elucidate the messages from your person. Knight of Cups in the reverse. So there could have been a little bit of love lost. You can see here, actually, he's like tipping his hat. His hand is on his hat, and he's kind of like this, or in the gesture of that. The Knight of Cups. Cups is water energy. The Knight of Cups is somebody who offers this authentic gesture of love or friendship, or the idea of an offer. And you got this card in reverse. So I do feel that something was withheld from you. It's the reason why you've had to kind of up-level yourself, I feel like, in a different direction. Like the chapter closes, so then you open up a new chapter, because there was something that was withheld. What was it that was withheld? What was withheld, Spirit? What was withheld from Sagittarius? Ten of Wands, Queen of Swords in the reverse. So the Ten of Wands talks about kind of walking up this proverbial hill with all of this burden on your back. The burden sometimes to me represents experience. Like sometimes the knowledge is a burden, right? And it's interesting here because the Queen of Swords in the reverse to me represents somebody who just doesn't want to look at it anymore. Like she's tired. She doesn't want to, like, she's usually interested in the facts, the hard facts, the figures, the truth, you know, all of the data. She wants all of the information. And when she's in the reverse, it's like, I can't even deal with this right now. I don't have the patience. I don't have the bandwidth. Why? Because I'm dealing with this right now. I'm dealing with this burden. I'm dealing with all of these kind of responsibilities that I'm carrying on my back, in my arms. There's no space. There's no room for me to carry anything else. If I put one more thing on here, I'm going to fall over. And that could have been something that you might have said, or you might have thought at one time. It's interesting. I just got this kind of pang of an idea of a relationship or something that could have had the possibility of turning into a relationship or a friendship, and you're just saying, I don't have space in my life for another friend or another significant other, or like whatever. I've got too much going on here and I want to settle this first, right? And honestly, I personally think that's really responsible, because, okay, Spirit's giving me a random example, but I'm gonna say it. So it's like when you get a new pet. Nobody should be getting any pets, any animals of any kind, if you are not willing to show that animal the love and attention and affection and care that it requires. The same could be said about children, I think, too. But it's like people that, like, if you live a lifestyle where you're traveling all the time and you get a dog, for example, I mean, is it really fair to your dog to bring them into your home only to leave them there with a babysitter, you know, or a dog walker or whatever, and not spend any time with that animal? I mean, that's totally I'm making a judgment, and I don't care, because I have pets. I've had pets for a very long time, and it confounds me when people take on the responsibility of having an animal and then they don't follow through with that responsibility. But anyway, but Spirit is giving me that example, but using it in the context of a relationship. Do you have room for a partner? I think there's this sense that no, you don't have room for a partner, or you didn't, because you were being responsible and saying, I need to settle up my my prior obligations, right? But at least with the Ten of Wands, we're going to put those wands down soon. We can't go any higher before we revert back to the Ace of Wands in the tarot. The Ace of Wands being this like newfound energy. We're excited. We have this catalyst energy behind us that then we feel inspired. But until then, until we can just put this down, we're going to abstain. And I use that word very particularly. We're going to abstain. And that's perfectly fine, because, you know, because it could be like, well, why am I not getting any offers? And it's just because, well, you are, at least the Sagittarians that I'm talking to, the energy that you're putting out is that you actually don't want offers. It's almost like, what would I don't have time to take up those offers. I'm too busy. And that's perfectly fine. You know, we prioritize what we want to prioritize. So let's get some more messages out. What do these people in Spirit want to say? These are the messages from the people in spirit. I just said, well, I just felt a message in response to this. Your ancestors, your spirit guides saying you're working too hard. What do they want to say? Let's pull some cards. Seven of Cups in reverse. Well, Spirit just said that they're stubborn. Sagittarian is stubborn because Seven of Cups usually means spoiled for choice. That there are all these possibilities, and you got the card in reverse. So I asked specifically, what does the person on your mind? And I do feel as though I'm speaking to somebody whose person is in spirit. It's almost like they're saying to you, it's like, well, they have their mind made up. There's no confusion about which cup to choose. They have their mind made up. Emperor, yep. They are, I mean, I think they're happy about this because it's like you're in control. Number 4 of the major arcana, Aries energy. Power of all 4 kings. The ultimate divine masculine. Somebody in their divine masculine energy. They're a go-getter. They're a doer. They're the aggressor. They make it happen. So you got the Emperor flipping out here. They see you. They see you bossing up in whatever respect, and that you're not confused about what it is that you want. And with the Death card in reverse, number 13, Scorpio energy, you are trying to close out some cycles, right? With the Siren song, number 21 referenced here, right? You're trying to close out a chapter. You're trying to put these down now. And yes, someday you will have room and make room. I think that someday is soon to welcome a Knight of Cups energy into your life. It doesn't have to be like a romantic relationship, but just this idea of something romancing your life. If it's a new project or just something that breathes new energy into your heart chakra, specifically your heart chakra. You're closing out something. You're closing out a cycle. The Spirit just said, I'm not mad at it. Like your person in spirit is supporting you. I mean, I felt like I heard a Sagittarian say, what choice do they have? Well, if they're not going to support me, then that's too bad. Why wouldn't they support me? I just felt like there's a little, I feel a little cynicism, but that's okay. That's okay. Page of Pentacles. You know, we're going to find our new opportunities in the material realm. And I feel as though there might be a little bit of fits and starts. It's just kind of like, because I hear this like puttering sound. Puttering. Like an old time car engine. It's almost like comical. It's like out of like a cartoon. Put, like this engine of a car kind of meandering along. When I see this card, it's like that's the energy. It's small little incremental movement. It's still movement, but it's small. And then the 8 of Cups in the reverse. 8 of Cups in the upright is a walking away energy. With the 8 of Cups in reverse, feels like a little bit of stationary, that we're almost a little bit like we're coming home, like a homecoming. Could be like a coming back to the self. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the 2 of Cups popped out at some point, because I feel as though, thank you, Spirit, you're having this revelation, but it's very internal. Always feels like hermit energy, where you're recognizing, because sometimes we can't tell when the chapter is closed in our lives because we're just living our lives. We're not saying to ourselves, you know, on June 5th, I'm just going to stop being this way, and on June 6th, I'm going to start being this way. Those dates may be relevant to you. I just chose them randomly, but they could have meaning for you, June 5th or 6th. Usually we don't, we can look back in hindsight, and now they're showing me 2020. We can look back in hindsight and say, you know, it was at that moment when I was 32 or whatever that my life changed forever. It was at that moment that the chapter started over, or new chapter began. But I feel as though you know that something is coming to a close. You can feel it internally. You're witnessing it, almost as if from the outside, like the Hanged Man energy. Let's get another card. Six of Swords, yeah. Even though this is a homecoming, it's almost like you're moving away, at least mentally, because it's a Swords card. You're moving away from chaotic thought into something that makes more sense for your best and highest good. And here we have number 6, the Major Arcana, the Lovers. I told you that I was saying, it's just like once you deal with this responsibility over here and you kind of lay that to rest, then you can leave room for something to enter into the space and place of the heart chakra, something that speaks to a love affair with self, with other, with projects, endeavor. Lover's card also talks about a choice point. I don't know why I did this all of a sudden. That was a weird movement. It reminds me of this Sagittarian with the cross, the arrow, the bow and arrow. I don't know why I did that. That was a really weird. It's almost like it's like Spirit pulled my arm back. They didn't pull my arm back, but I felt like that was very. I wouldn't normally do that. It felt very strange. Are you having to kind of, because now I see this, your cover card. It's like choosing a different target. Recalibration. Recalculation. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, you're having to assess where it is that you want to go next. Let's get some last messages from the person on your mind. Page of Swords, Four of Wands. Page of Swords is curiosity, gathering more evidence or information, doing it willingly. Page of Swords can also talk about a little bit of spy energy, looking at social media and everything, but I don't feel as though this is at another person. Spirit just gave me something very specific, which is, well, they showed me Chris Reck in my mind. So Chris Reck is a tarot reader, prolific tarot reader at Minnow Pond Tarot. He has almost 1 million subscribers, which is very exciting for him. And his philosophy, his kind of business ethic, is that he tries to learn one new thing a day. Every single day he is looking at advice or methodology on how to improve his viewership, improve his channel, improve his business tactics, whatever it is. And Spirit is showing me his face, kind of showing him talking about it. And so there's this Page of Swords energy could be wrapped up in that idea that, you know, you are really primed and ready to learn something new. And you might be doing that through watching the example of other people. Not so that you can copy them, but more out of like a respect. Like, okay, it seems like they took this approach in business and it seems like a smart approach. I might try that. And what results from it, Four of Wands, is a firm foundation. This is the stability from which we can raise ourselves up. That's what the Four of Wands represents. It's also known as the 1111 card, or the card of twin flames. But it's a card of celebration, first and foremost. Like everybody, I mean, this card looks very suggestive, but it's a card of celebration. It's like walking underneath the canopy and entering into a new portal, entering into a new situation, which has been the general theme of your reading today. This up-leveling, this closing out a chapter, beginning a new one, closing out a cycle, beginning a new one. And the person on your mind can see this, that you are determined to succeed. And I mean, the thing is, you are succeeding. I mean, dare I say that they're happy with the progress, but they do wish that you could bring a little bit more emotion into the situation. Whether that's a person or just a general feeling of love for self, there's a feeling there that they would like you to work on that. So that's your reading, Sag. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Sag.